Hi guys, you're back for the third segment with Rigo, Sandra, Raymond, and Danielle. Rigo, we're talking about rats and rodents and how you get rid of them. There's all kind of chemicals sometimes that you can use to help to prevent them from getting into the area. But what do you use that is so good that we know that won't affect our dogs or our cats and things like that?
Yeah, so we rarely use rodenticides. We do more trapping than anything else, but there's new technology now that in the rodent world of sterilization. It's a very, very slow process, but technology is out there that is put in a feed of some kind, whether it's a seed or a bait block or something that the rodent eats, and it actually sterilizes them. And then over a period of time, you've got this population that becomes sterile, and therefore you get, you have lack of production, of the population, and eventually they die off. That's very advanced technology, far better than products that will cause, stomach poisonings, right, and, these sort of things, anticoagulants, and, that were certainly a potential threat to non-target organisms like, people's pets, for that matter, or the wildlife like a bird or a hawk or, something to that effect. So sterilization is a real big advancement in this type of technology. And the same holds true with insect control.
Right.
I was just on the phone with a woman the other day, and she was very concerned about, pesticides and applications, and rightfully so. And I love taking those phone calls because people still have this mentality that the industry, right, as a whole, whether it's Rigo, Pest, or any other company, that we're using these extremely harsh, highly toxic, invasive materials. And the fact is we're not. All the companies have the same products available, and a lot of them today, and this is an industry-wide mentality, the technology, these manufacturers, these chemists have developed, growth regulators that prevents insects from molting. There's an enzyme in insects called chitin that prevents the chitin being developed, which allows an insect to molt. So you've got these chitin inhibitors. Humans don't have chitin.
Right.
And so this product targets that enzyme. We don't have that. So if there was an accidental exposure, it's going to pose no adverse effects to a mammal. You've got sterilization, as I mentioned. You have a myriad of different types of growth regulators that will prevent insects from developing into maturity, being able to reproduce, to lay eggs, these various things. And so finally, a lot of these products are engineered for the nervous system of an insect, specifically engineered, where the molecules actually attach themselves to certain, parts of the nervous system that are engineered in the insect entomology, but not a human,
right,
or, something like that. So with that being said, the science today has really revolutionized, the products available for pesticide application. And again, a good pest control program always begins with inspection, communication, sanitation, monitoring, mechanical control, sealing things up. You follow all those practices first, and then from there, you move into a very minimalistic, strategic pesticide application, but as I mentioned, with highly advanced products today. You put all that together, you really put people's minds at ease,
And when you're in the commercial field, you have to really be careful too, because especially restaurants and places where, consumers are going to be, and people want to make sure that the consumer is protected.
Absolutely. Food handling in particular, childcare, real big one, healthcare.
I didn't think
of
that.
Very much so. Rule of thumb in these environments, in fact, a lot of the health management programs that these commercial companies develop when they're hiring a pest control company and other services is monitoring is first. Very well thought out pest control programs begin with monitoring. Like, you're not even allowed in certain environments to apply pesticide without first demonstrating that you've monitored the area, you've determined what the insect is, you've determined where it came from, And is there any other protocol that can be done before pesticides applied?
Wow.
Some companies, organizations have really gone that far. That is impressive. That's intelligent. And because that's really how it should be. And so usually you have on site of a large commercial property some sort of, facilities manager, chief engineer, or, safety coordinator, these sort of titles. And a good pest control company is going to be hand in hand with that employee, that official, and you're going to follow those practices. And good choices are made then, safe choices. And that's really good pest control.
And you guys do have the ability to service commercial clients.
We do. And really, I will say this. The reason why I say yes with a lot of confidence is because what I just said. It's not so much my team or the products. It's the attitude that I just shared with you. Ultimately, when you purchase a company, you're purchasing the relationship.
Right.
You're purchasing the trust. You're purchasing the interaction between parties that are working together to prevent pest and solve a pest issue when it arises. That's what you're buying. And so that we excel in that. The products are the same across the board. All companies have them. I like to think that our edge is the very thing I said. It's that partnership. It's that communication.
I'm going to change the pattern or the path we're going to. That I'm planning on doing a half triathlon.
Okay, right.
I want to know what you think about it. I think there's one in Tempe, and I want to know if you know anything about that.
Well, you're about 7 months behind if you're going to join me. There's only 2 months left. October 22nd. Yes, sir. We've got a half Ironman in my horizon. Yeah. And training is going well. Tracking my times, tracking my performance, learning what to eat, what not to eat. May I say what not to drink? Your body definitely responds. That is a big factor. And, I'm so excited. It's a real test. I did the quarter Ironman, as you know, up in Tempe in April. This one is a half, and it's a doozy. It's a doozy. So we're going to give it a whirl, and I'm getting ready.
You mean a mile for each run?
Yeah, so we've got to get into Tempe Town Lake and do a 1.2 mile swim. And then from there, jump on our little hot rod bike and bang out 56 miles in the Tempe streets. And then after that, suffer an enduring, in the sun, 13-mile run to finish.
Wow.
And my hope is all within 6 hours, but my goal is 5.5. That's what we're shooting for.
I just want to make sure everybody knew this guy is so amazing. He has a friends and company, people that's always people-oriented, and he still has time to take care of himself and do little things like this have some fun in the outside. If you consider this fun, we do not.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you know when I get done.
We want to thank Rigo Arce of Rigo Pest Prevention for coming on the show with us today. He's one of our great sponsors, and we really appreciate him being here today.
Great to see you guys.
Thanks, you too, buddy.